Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So we have our Dragon Samurai Sword. So hopefully I can give you a good close-up of this without too much blur out. So, I picked this thing up. It's decorative, okay? I wouldn't suggest having a sword fight with this thing. I think somebody may have tried it one time, you never know. But I did have to glue the top back on because somebody had broken it off. But I got this at Value Village, believe it or not, for 20 bucks. Yeah, 20 bucks Canadian. It's like, that's not a bad deal. Because you guys know, I mean, I broke my wrist and I was looking for solutions to get my wrist to work out once everything got back, you know, no more cast, so I get strength back. But of course, well, this isn't going to be the solution. That's why we ended up getting size today, which was the video previous to this. And I told you guys that if I hadn't done a video on this, I would. So I figured, well, might as well do a video for you guys. And, you know, it's not bad. I mean, the blade is steel. What kind of steel is anybody's guess. I'm guessing probably 420 or 440, which is usually a pathetic kind of steel anyway. It's even lousy in knives because 440 and 420 really doesn't hold an edge that well. Now this is not sharpened from the factory. There's no way I'm even going to think about putting an edge on this thing. You know, and you can tell it's a laser cut sword, so it's definitely not going to be hardened steel. And I can also tell that by the Hammond line here, which is done from clay process generally. You know, you would think that, hey, maybe that is got some authenticity to it. But when it starts to disappear when you do some light sanding, that's telling me that, yeah, this is definitely not a hardened blade. But either way, it is, you know, the samurai shaping of the blade and, you know, styling kind of thing. I like the dragon on it. I think the dragon is actually pretty cool. And my wife is actually going to do custom paint job on this thing for me on the handle. And once she's done painting it, we're going to put in acrylic clear coat because she is going to be using acrylic paints. But she's going to paint them up with all the detail. We figured black wings and, you know, nice metallic-y type, hopefully metallic, if not a nice shade of green for the scales. And, you know, we'll figure out the belly color. The ball is a spherical thing. But yeah, it's definitely a dragon of some sort. Or, yeah, it's definitely a dragon, but kind of nice. I mean, I even like the detail in the Japanese or Chinese homes that are, you know, embossed into this thing. It looks pretty cool, actually. As far as the main blade goes, I mean, it is actually, you know, really well balanced, you know. I could actually see myself having some fun with this to a certain point, but given the material that the handle is made out of, I wouldn't put it through shock. So in other words, if you're going to put an edge on something like this, cut watermelons with it, maybe some apples, but don't ever go against another blade because the handle will probably shatter in your hand, and that wouldn't be good. Anyways, so for 20 bucks, it's a pretty neat little sword. I have no idea where it comes from. That's the big thing. I did Google searching and, you know, under dragon head or dragon sword, dragon samurai. I can't find anything on this style. The closest you're going to get is the, if you guys ever watched the Highlander series movies, right? When Connor McLeod was given that really kick-butt sword from, oh, what was his name now? Ramirez. Anyways, and he got it from some Japanese guy, I guess, something to do with he was married to or dating the daughter or whatever. I don't know. I can't remember the entire storyline behind that one. But I actually had that same sword in a, what was it, 420 or 440 surgical steel blade. Extremely lightweight, very thin. I mean, this thing is a tank compared to that thing. And it was a nice sword, don't get me wrong. But I put it through some battles and it needed a lot of resharpening. It just, surgical steel is really not that tough. Great for cutting with to a certain point, but even that doesn't hold its edge very well. This is certainly not carbon steel of any kind, so we know that. But great for, you know, playing around with, hang it up on the wall, make it part of your cool collection, whatever. But for 20 bucks, I thought that might work, do the trick. But then after holding the thing and, you know, realizing, you know, how much it's going to take on the spin. So if you've got a sword like this and you're doing this spin movement, okay, like this, that is going to rip my wrist off. So there's no way I'm going to be able to do that with my right hand. It's going to be too heavy. So that's why we have size. So this will get used eventually for, you know, sword practice type of thing. I can do it for that without going up against anything else. I do have a real sword, so I really don't care. But I do want an actual real samurai sword though, you know. But I want something that's definitely cool, definitely. But this is also cool too, don't get me wrong. But for 20 bucks, it's a good score. It's kind of weird what value Village actually ends up having on their shelves sometimes. I've seen them with BB guns in there, which is interesting. All different types of knives. I mean, I don't know why people would donate stuff like that to a secondhand recycling place. It's like, you could sell it online and get more money. Take it to a hawk shop and get more money, you know, kind of thing, right? Why would you give that stuff away? Although somebody did give away a fake Telecaster not that long ago, and they thought it was an American Tele, and it turned out it was a fake, and they actually soaked somebody $1,000 for it. Wow. Oh, I hate to be the person that bought that sucker, because, yeah, be a fly on the wall, be like, ah! You know, and there's nothing they can do about it, because, hey, it's a Value Village, right? Hey, what do we know? Yeah, well, you don't know much. Anyway, so yeah, kind of a cool sword, though. I like it. Eventually, I'll get some use out of it once my wrist is 100%. But in the meantime, yeah, it can sit and just, you know, go in the corner somewhere and, you know, sit with my other sword. But I thought I'd show that to you guys because I did promise you on the side video that if I didn't already have a video on that, I would do that. And that's a pretty good $20 score because, you know, if the top of the pommel here of the head wouldn't have been separated, so if it was 100% intact, you would actually pay probably about $50 to $80 for this at a pawn shop. So it's kind of like, well, considering I just had to, you know, take some epoxy and glue it back on, you know, it repaired up really nice and seamless. And we're going to paint it anyways because I want the color onto that to make it more cool looking, right? For 20 bucks, you can't really say no. So I'm going to keep my eyes out. And it's not the first time we've gotten swords there. I actually bought a combat ready sword from there. And I paid, I think it was about 60 bucks. That one is on my channel somewhere. And it's actually for combat purpose. It can take that kind of pounding. And that was a really steal of a deal, you know. And I'm still looking for the full-size length of that particular same sword. Because it's like the Ninja Boken style. So it's the straight blade with the Tantu front and, you know, type of thing, right? Your typical more Ninja Toe style one, but it's the middle of the three. Because even samurais, they carried three. They have the short dagger, right? And then they have the mid-level sword, short sword, and then of course the full-length katana. I know my eldest son, he actually has the full-length one to my middle version. And but I'm keeping my eyes out on Amazon and other places, searching them out. And if I can find that one on Amazon, I'll score it from there. Then I'll have a match set. I don't need the third blade anyways, because there's no point to it. Not to me anyway. So that's that video. Pretty short and easy to do today, yeah. Given what this thing has got a handle built out of, the blade material, like I said, it is steel, but it's not hardened. It's not hardenable steel or hardened steel. I would say I definitely got my 20 bucks worth. I mean, even brand new, I probably wouldn't pay more than about 40 bucks, 45 tops. But I know what they sell for in the pawn shops because I've seen enough of these things for sale that it's kind of like, well, I can get cheaper online. See ya. Yeah, for what that thing is, I can't even find it anywhere on Google search of images or nothing. I've tried all other searches. Can't find that same design anywhere. So I don't know what multiverse it came from, but it's definitely a neat looking piece of artwork anyway. Anyways, that's it. That's all. Let me know what you guys think of that thing down below in the comments. Like I said, when I can get my wrist 100%, maybe I'll give you guys a little sword video showing thing. I think that would probably entertain some of you anyway. But in the meantime, thanks so much for watching and stopping in once again. We'll catch you on the next one. See ya.